everyone doing today? Welcome back to Martial Club. I'm Sifu Andrew Fennell, and we're continuing our discussion on how to make the strongest straight punch possible. We're picking up from our last video. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you go back, take a look at that, so you're caught up and you know where we're coming from. If you've already done that, let's get going. So making that strong straight punch. We talked about last time that the body is more of the transmitter of power than it is the creator of power. That's very important to understand. So most of our power creation is coming from below us. That's not to say that our body doesn't help in the creation of power, and we're going to talk about that in a later video. But again, most of it is from below, it's from the ground. So we need our power to come from the ground, go all the way up, and then reach our fist so we can hit someone really hard. So the first thing is very important to understand is how our body needs to be connected. And you want to think of it more like the transmission of energy, as if you were trying to turn the switch to a light bulb. It's very important that we have no kinks, no loose wires, because even though the light bulb will still light up a little bit, it probably won't be as bright as if it was a more smooth transmission. And that's going to be the same thing as power. The more kinks and out of place your body is, the less power you're going to be able to use from the ground. Okay? And that's also very important to understand that since everyone's using the power from the ground, we are all starting with the same amount of power. So how you transmit it is going to determine the amount of power you're going to use. So we have our lower body and we have our upper body, and we needed to connect it together. And this is a very important concept. How does this happen? In the middle. Now a lot of us think it's with our hips. The truth of the matter is it's not completely true. Our hips are used it's more helping the transmission power than it is the actual connecting force between lower and upper body. What do we use to connect our lower and upper body? Our abs. And how does this happen? By tightening. Our abs are actually the only part of our body that doesn't have a structure, doesn't have a bone in it. So to make it a structure, we tighten them. And when you tighten them, you'll see it actually becomes very difficult to move your upper body by itself or your lower body by itself. When I tighten my abs, you'll see the whole body wanting to move together. And that's exactly what we want when we're hitting. We want our whole body becoming a single structure to hit you with. So, tighten those abs. Now, how do we do this in a fight? The truth is, most of us are taught it from the very beginning. But unfortunately, it's usually not explained well. And that is breathing. You hear it in the very beginning, you'll hear it in the middle, you hear it at the end. Breathe. Now breathing isn't only good for staying alive, it's good for tightening your structure, for making your body become a single unit. So when I breathe out, my abs naturally tighten. And that's exactly what I want. So when I tighten and I punch, my whole body actually connected together, which means I'm able to transmit the power from the ground to my legs, to my abs, to my arms, and out into my opponent. And that's the concept, and that's a continuation of making the strongest straight punch possible. All right? I suggest practice a little bit, be conscious of it, and eventually it will become second nature. You won't even think about it. If you have any comments or questions, tell me down below. If you can like, subscribe, we really appreciate it. We also have a Facebook, Martial Club. You can check us out. We've been posting a lot of new videos and content, and we hope to see you back here. Again, I'm Sifu Andrew Fennell, and this is Martial Club.